The blizzard doesn't ask permission. Rex Hawk grips the steering wheel as wind slams into his red pickup truck, each gust threatening to shove him off the narrow forest road. Snow flies horizontal across the windshield. The wipers fight a losing battle. Beside him, Maximus sits rigid in the passenger seat, ears forward, hackles raised. Something's wrong. The German shepherd never tenses like this during storms. Rex has driven through worse. Sandstorms in Kandahar, typhoons in the Pacific. This is just Michigan winter. But Maximus knows things Rex doesn't. The dog proved that in 12 missions overseas, sniffing out IEDs before they turned Humvees into coffins. Rex squints through the white chaos ahead. The road should curve left here, following the tree line toward his cabin. 5 more miles. Then he sees it. A splash of red against the snow. Not natural red. Fabric red. Human red. His boot slams the brake. The truck fishtails, tires screaming against ice. Maximus braces against the dashboard. They stop 15 feet from what shouldn't be there. A woman. Elderly. In a wheelchair. She sits in the middle of the road, hands clutched around a plaid blanket that covers her lap. Her red coat stands out like a wound against the white landscape. A gray knit hat covers most of her silver hair. She's not moving, not waving, just sitting there as snow accumulates on her shoulders. Rex kills the engine. The howling wind fills the sudden silence. "Stay," he tells Maximus. The dog whines low in his throat. Rex shoves open the door and cold punches him in the chest. The temperature dropped 20 degrees in the last hour. He jogs toward the woman, boots crunching through 6 inches of fresh powder. His breath comes out in visible clouds. She's shaking. Her lips have that blue tint that means hypothermia is setting in. Her eyes find his face, and something flickers there. Relief, confusion, maybe both. "Ma'am." Rex drops to one knee beside the wheelchair. Up close, he can see she's older than he first thought. 80, maybe more. The cold has turned her brown skin ashen. "What are you doing out here?" Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. When words finally come, they're fractured. Wrong. The road, my son, She's not making sense. Rex scans the area. No other vehicles, no houses for miles. The nearest town is Grayling, population 8,000, and that's a 40-minute drive in good weather. Nobody lives out here except Rex, and that's exactly why he chose it. "Where did you come from?" He keeps his voice steady, calm, the same tone he used with frightened civilians in Fallujah. "I need Gerald. He's waiting." Her hands twist the blanket. "The storm came and I don't." Behind them, Maximus barks once. Sharp, urgent. Rex's instincts fire. That's not a "I'm cold" bark. That's a warning bark. The same bark Maximus gave 3 seconds before a sniper opened fire in Ramadi. But there's nothing out here except trees and snow and... Wait. Tire tracks. Fresh ones, partially filled with new snow but still visible. Leading off the main road into the forest. Someone else was here recently. Someone who left this woman behind. The wind shifts and Rex catches it. Diesel exhaust, faint but unmistakable. A vehicle idling somewhere close. His hand moves automatically to his hip where his sidearm used to ride. Nothing there now. He's been civilian for 2 years, mostly. The woman's teeth chatter so hard he can hear them over the wind. Her fingers look waxy. She's got maybe 20 minutes before her core temperature drops into dangerous territory. No time to figure out the mystery. Time to act. Rex stands and positions himself behind the wheelchair. The handles are cold enough to burn his palms, even through his gloves. He starts pushing toward the truck. "Ma'am, I'm taking you somewhere warm. Can you tell me your name? Edith. The word comes out as a whisper. Edith Thompson. Okay, Miss Edith. I'm Rex. That's Maximus in the truck. We're going to get you out of this storm. He maneuvers the wheelchair toward the passenger side. Maximus has moved to the back seat, making room. Smart dog. Rex opens the door, and warm air spills out. The heater's been running since he left town. Getting her into the truck is harder than expected. She can't support her own weight. Rex ends up lifting her like a child. She weighs maybe 90 pounds, and settling her into the seat. She gasps as the warmth hits her. Her whole body trembles. Rex grabs the blanket from the wheelchair and tucks it around her. You're okay now. You're safe. She looks at him with clouded eyes. I was trying. Gerald needs... We'll find Gerald. First, we get you warm. He closes her door and moves to fold the wheelchair. It's one of those cheap ones, probably from Walmart. The frame is cold as ice. As he lifts it toward the truck bed, something catches his eye. A business card tucked into the seat pocket. Rex pulls it out. No snow on it, which means it was placed there recently. The card is plain black with silver text. Vince, solutions for difficult problems, and a phone number. No company name, no address, just Vince. Rex pockets the card and loads the wheelchair. Something about this whole situation feels wrong. Old woman in a storm, mysterious tire tracks, a business card that screams illegal activity. But right now, wrong doesn't matter. Survival matters. He climbs back into the driver's seat. Maximus leans forward from the back and sniffs Edith's shoulder. The dog's hackles are still raised. It's okay, boy. Rex turns the key. We're going home. That's when he sees them. Two sets of headlights, emerging from the tree line where the tire tracks led. Coming fast. The vehicles are dark SUVs, expensive ones. Not the kind you see on rural Michigan back roads. They're not slowing down. Rex's training kicks in before his brain catches up. He slams the truck into gear and punches the accelerator. The tires spin, catch, and the pickup lurches forward. In the rearview mirror, the SUVs swing onto the road behind them. Following. Edith makes a small sound. Not quite a word. More like recognition. Miss Edith, Rex says quietly, eyes on the mirror. Who's Gerald? She doesn't answer. Her shaking has gotten worse. The SUVs are gaining. The road ahead curves through dense forest, barely wide enough for one vehicle. Snow falls harder now, visibility dropping to maybe 30 feet. Rex knows this road. Every turn, every dip. He's driven it 1,000 times. But in these conditions, with a terrified elderly woman in the cab and two mystery vehicles in pursuit, knowledge might not be enough. Maximus growls deep in his chest. I know, buddy. Rex's hands tighten on the wheel. I know. The first SUV pulls alongside, engine roaring. Through the snow-covered windows, Rex can make out shapes. Men, multiple passengers. The passenger window rolls down and a face appears. Young guy, maybe 30, with a shaved head and a scar running through his left eyebrow. He's holding something. Rex sees the gun barrel a split second before the shot. What secrets is Edith hiding? And why would anyone want an elderly woman dead in the middle of a blizzard? Glass explodes inward. Rex yanks the wheel right. The truck lurches off the road into a snowbank. The impact throws everyone forward. Maximus yelps. Edith's head snaps against the headrest. The windshield now has a bullet hole the size of a quarter. Spiderweb cracks spreading like frozen lightning. The engine stalls. Everything goes quiet except for the wind and Edith's ragged breathing. She's pressed against the door, eyes wide, that blanket clutched to her chest like it might stop bullets. Stay down, Rex hisses. Both of you. The SUVs have stopped on the road. Doors open. 4 men climb out of the vehicles, shoulders hunched against the wind. They're dressed wrong for the weather. Thin jackets, street shoes already soaked through. These aren't locals. They move like city people trying to look tough in territory they don't understand. But the guns are real enough. Rex counts 3 pistols and what looks like a shotgun. The scarred man who took the shot steps forward. "We just want the old lady, friend. Hand her over and you can drive away." Friend. That word alone tells Rex everything. These men aren't cops, aren't feds. They're contractors at best, thugs at worst. Rex doesn't move from the driver's seat. His mind runs through options. The truck is stuck in the snow. Even if he gets it started, they're sitting targets. The nearest help is 40 minutes away, and his phone is in the center console. He could grab it, but they'd shoot him before he finished dialing. Behind him, Maximus has gone completely still. The dog is a coiled spring waiting for the command. "Can't do that." Rex calls back through the broken windshield. The scarred man sighs like Rex just made his day harder. "Don't be stupid. You don't know what you're in the middle of." "Then educate me." "The woman's family owes a debt. We're here to collect." He gestures with the gun. "Last chance. Her or you. Choose." Edith makes a sound, not words. Just a broken noise that might be crying or might be something else. Her whole body trembles, and Rex realizes it's not just from the cold anymore. This is recognition. She knows these men. "My son," she whispers. "Gerald, what did he do?" The scarred man's face splits into a grin. "Gerald made promises he couldn't keep, Edith. Left you as collateral. Funny thing about collateral, eventually someone comes to collect. So that's it. Son gets in deep with the wrong people. Uses his mother as a bargaining chip. Classic desperation move. Rex has seen it before, overseas, where poverty and war made people sacrifice anything to survive. Doesn't mean he's letting it happen here. "Here's my counteroffer," Rex says. His voice drops into that command tone he used with his SEAL team. Hard, flat, no room for negotiation. "You get back in those fancy trucks and drive away. I forget I saw your faces. Everybody lives." The scarred man laughs. The other 3 men spread out, flanking the truck. They're trying to surround him. Standard intimidation tactic. Make the target feel trapped. "You military?" The scarred man tilts his head. "Yeah, you got that look. Let me tell you something, soldier boy. Your training doesn't mean shit in the real world. Real world is messy. Real world is..." Maximus explodes through the broken windshield. The dog moves so fast the men don't process it until he's already airborne. 85 pounds of muscle and teeth hits the scarred man in the chest. They both go down in a spray of snow. The gun flies from the man's hand, disappearing into a drift. The other 3 men freeze for a critical second. Rex doesn't freeze. He's out of the truck and moving before his conscious mind catches up. 2 long strides, and he's on the nearest thug, the one with the shotgun. Rex's training takes over. Deflect the barrel left. Strike the throat with the heel of his palm. Follow through with a knee to the solar plexus. The man drops, gagging, shotgun clattering onto ice. The second man raises his pistol. Rex is already inside his guard. Grab the wrist, twist counterclockwise. The gun discharges into the ground, the shot muffled by snow. Rex drives his elbow into the man's nose. Bone crunches. Blood sprays bright red against white snow. 3 down in under 10 seconds. The 4th man is backing toward the SUV, guns shaking in his hands. He's young, maybe 22, eyes wide with panic. This isn't what he signed up for. "Drop it," Rex says quietly. The young man drops the gun like it burned him. In the snow behind Rex, Maximus has the scarred man pinned. The dog's jaws are locked around the man's forearm, applying just enough pressure to keep him immobilized without breaking skin. The man is frozen, terrified to move and give the dog a reason to bite harder. Rex picks up the dropped pistol and ejects the magazine. Then the shotgun. He tosses both weapons into the tree line where snow is already covering them. "Who sent you?" Rex keeps his eyes on all four men. The two he hit are groaning, trying to sit up. The young one is crying. The scarred man is just breathing hard, staring at the teeth an inch from his face. "Can't tell you that." The scarred man forces the words through gritted teeth. "Kill me if you want. Still can't tell you." "I'm not going to kill you." Rex's voice is calm, matter of fact. "I'm going to leave you out here and let the storm do it. Hypothermia is a gentle death. You just fall asleep." That gets their attention. The young man starts babbling. "Vince. We work for Vince. He's waiting at the old lumber mill off Route 27. He's got Gerald there. Said to bring the old lady or don't come back." The scarred man shoots the kid a look that would strip paint. "Gerald's my son." Edith's voice cuts through the wind. She's leaned out the truck door, blanket around her shoulders, face pale but eyes sharp. "Is he alive?" The young man nods frantically. Yeah, he's alive. Vince just wants to talk, negotiate." He said, "Shut up." The scarred man snarls. Rex looks back at Edith. She's shaking again, but not from cold this time, from rage. Her hands grip the door frame so hard her knuckles are white. "He used me," she says. "My own son used me to buy himself time." Rex doesn't respond. What can he say? Family betrayal is its own special kind of hell. He learned that when his own father walked out, leaving him and his mother with nothing but debt and broken promises. The wind picks up. The temperature is still dropping. The four men are already shivering in their inadequate clothing. Rex gives them maybe an hour before hypothermia becomes a serious threat. "Here's what happens now," Rex says. "You walk back to town. It's 7 miles. Keep moving and you'll make it. Stop moving and you won't. When you get there, you tell Vince that Edith Thompson is under protection. Tell him if he wants to negotiate, he can call the county sheriff." The scarred man laughs, bitter and sharp. "You think Vince cares about sheriffs. You don't know who you're dealing with." "Maybe not." Rex steps closer. "But Vince doesn't know who he's dealing with either. So we're even." He whistles once. Maximus releases the man's arm and trots back to Rex's side, tail high, proud of his work. The dog's muzzle is clean. No blood. Perfect control. Rex backs toward the truck, keeping his eyes on the four men. "Start walking. Head that direction." He points south. "You'll hit Route 27 in about 2 hours if you keep a good pace." "You're making a mistake," the scarred man says, climbing to his feet. Blood runs from his torn jacket where Maximus grabbed him. "Vince doesn't forget. Vince doesn't forgive. Neither do I." The men start walking. The young one keeps looking back, terrified. The other three just trudge forward, heads down, against the wind. Their footprints are already filling with new snow. Rex watches until they disappear into the white chaos. Then he turns back to the truck. Edith is crying now. Real tears, not the frozen kind that come from exposure. "I'm sorry," she says. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know Gerald would." "Not your fault." Rex helps her back into the seat. Parents can't control what their kids do. "Trust me." He closes her door and examines the truck. The tires are buried, but the frame isn't damaged. He grabs the small shovel from the bed and starts digging. Maximus watches, occasionally glancing back the way the men went. 5 minutes of hard work and the tires are clear. Rex climbs back in and turns the key. The engine coughs twice, then roars to life. He reverses carefully, feeling the tires grab, and swings back onto the road. "Where are we going?" Edith asks quietly. "My place. It's safe. We'll figure out the rest from there." Gerald's in trouble. Gerald made his own choices. He's still my son. Rex doesn't answer that. He knows what she's feeling. The obligation to family even when family doesn't deserve it. The impossible choice between loyalty and survival. The road ahead disappears into snow and shadow. Behind them, tire tracks are already gone, erased by wind and fresh powder. It's like the last 10 minutes never happened. Except for the bullet hole in the windshield and the blood on Maximus's teeth and the 4 men walking toward hypothermia or worse. Rex drives in silence. The heater blasts warm air. Edith stares out the window at nothing. After 5 miles, she speaks again. "You didn't have to help me." "Yes," Rex says, "I did." "Why?" "Because leaving people behind is what haunted him at night. Because every mission he couldn't complete, every civilian he couldn't save, every face that still appears in his nightmares. Because if he can save one person today, maybe it balances out all the people he couldn't save yesterday. But he doesn't say any of that. Because it's the right thing to do." The cabin appears through the trees, a dark shape with snow piling on the roof. Smoke rises from the chimney. Rex keeps the fire going even when he's out. Force of habit from too many cold nights in the field. He parks and helps Edith out of the truck. She's steadier now, some color returning to her face. Maximus bounds ahead, barking once at the door. Inside, the cabin is warm. Simple furniture, wood stove crackling, minimal decoration because Rex doesn't need much. Just a place to sleep and think and try to forget. He settles Edith into the armchair by the fire, brings her coffee and a thick wool blanket. She wraps both hands around the mug and stares into the flames. "They're going to come here," she says finally. "When those men don't come back, Vince will know something went wrong. Let him come. You don't understand. Vince, he's not just some criminal. He's something else. Something worse. I've dealt with worse." She looks at him then, really looks at him. Studies his face like she's trying to memorize it. "You're going to get yourself killed trying to protect me." "Maybe." Rex sits down across from her. "But I've been dead before, didn't stick." Outside, the wind howls. The cabin windows rattle. Night is coming fast, the way it does in winter storms. Soon it will be full dark, and the temperature will drop below 0. Rex's phone buzzes. Text message. Unknown number. The message reads, "We know where you are." How did Vince get Rex's number, and what else does he know? Rex deletes the text without responding. Edith sees his face change. What is it? Nothing. He pockets the phone and stands. "Stay here. Keep warm." He crosses to the gun cabinet in the corner. The key is on a chain around his neck. Always has been since he moved here. Inside the cabinet, 1 Remington 870 shotgun, 1 AR-15 rifle, 2 Glock 19 pistols, and enough ammunition to hold off a small army, or 4 hired thugs and whoever sent them. "You're preparing for war," Edith says. Her voice is flat, resigned. "Preparing for possibilities." Rex checks the shotgun. Loaded. He chambers around. The sound echoes in the small cabin. Maximus paces by the door, ears swiveling. The dog knows something's coming. Animals always know before humans do. Rex moves through the cabin, checking sight lines, angles of attack. 2 windows facing the front driveway. 1 window facing the tree line to the east. Back door leading to the shed where he keeps firewood. The cabin wasn't built as a fortress, but Rex has made improvements. Reinforced door frames, heavy locks, clear fields of fire in every direction. He learned these things in places where the difference between alive and dead was often 6 inches of brick wall. Tell me about Gerald. Rex keeps his eyes on the windows. Full dark now. Snow still falling, visibility maybe 20 feet. Edith's hands tighten around the coffee mug. He's my only child. His father died when Gerald was 12. Car accident. After that, it was just us two. I worked 3 jobs to put him through college. What does he do? He's an accountant. At least that's what he told me. She laughs, bitter. Apparently, he's been doing other things too. Things I didn't know about. How much does he owe? I don't know. He never said. Just showed up at my house 3 days ago, scared out of his mind. Said some men were looking for him. Said he needed to disappear for a while. Asked if he could borrow my car. She pauses. I said yes. Of course I said yes. He's my son. When did they take you? This morning. 2 men came to my door. Said Gerald sent them. Said he needed me to come with them, that it was important. I believed them. Her voice cracks. I'm such a fool. You trusted your son. That's not foolish. It got me left in a blizzard to die. Rex doesn't argue with that. She's right. Trust without verification is just another word for vulnerability. His phone buzzes again. Another text. Same unknown number. Tick-tock, soldier boy. Clock's running. Rex's jaw tightens. The message confirms what he suspected. These people know exactly who he is. Probably ran his plates, made some calls, found out about his service record. Which means they know he's dangerous. Good. Let them worry. He types back. Come whenever you want. I'll be here. Edith watches him. You can still walk away. Leave me here. They want me, not you. Not happening. Why not? I'm nobody to you. Just an old woman you found in the snow. Rex crosses to the window and peers out into darkness. Snow is 3 feet deep now and still accumulating. The wind has picked up, gusting hard enough to shake the cabin. In conditions like this, even vehicles with chains struggle. Most people hunker down and wait it out. Most people aren't Vince. I left someone behind once, Rex says quietly. Afghanistan. Village elder who helped us locate an insurgent cell. We promised him protection. Promised him we'd get him and his family out before retaliation came. He's silent for a moment. We didn't move fast enough. When I went back for him 3 days later, I found what was left. That wasn't your fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it was. Still happened. He looks at her. I don't leave people behind anymore. Outside, a branch snaps. Could be the wind. Could be something else. Maximus growls low, eyes locked on the front window. Rex kills the cabin lights. Darkness swallows everything. Only the orange glow from the wood stove remains, casting weird shadows on the walls. Get down, he whispers. Behind the couch. Stay low. Edith moves surprisingly fast for a woman her age. She drops behind the couch, pulling that plaid blanket over herself. In the dim light, she almost disappears. Rex positions himself by the front window, shotgun ready. His eyes adjust to the darkness. The snow outside looks blue in the ambient light, almost glowing. Movement. There, at the tree line. 2 figures, maybe 3. Hard to tell with the snow and shadows. They're not walking. They're advancing. Military style, low profile, using terrain for cover. These aren't the same men from earlier. Those 4 were street thugs, pretending to be tough. These are professionals. Rex's pulse stays steady. This is familiar territory. Defending a position, protecting an asset. The only difference is location. Instead of mud walls and dust, he's got wood and snow. His phone buzzes one more time. He glances at the screen. Last chance. Send out the woman and we leave you alone. Rex types back. Counteroffer. Leave now and I won't kill you. 3 dots appear. Someone's typing a response. Then the dots disappear. A second later, the front window explodes. The brick comes through in a shower of glass. It hits the far wall with a thud. Maximus barks once, sharp and loud. The wind screams through the broken window, sending snow swirling into the cabin. Rex doesn't move. This is a test. They're checking his response time, his positioning. Classic room-clearing tactic. Throw something through the window, see where the defender moves. He stays perfectly still. Another window breaks. Back bedroom this time. More glass, more wind. The cabin temperature drops 5 degrees instantly. Edith whimpers behind the couch. Stay down, Rex says. His voice is calm. Command voice. The voice that kept young seals from panicking when bullets started flying. The third window goes, east side. Now 3 entry points. Multiple angles of attack. They're boxing him in, limiting his movement options. Rex smiles in the darkness. They think they're hunting him. They don't realize they just trapped themselves. Because Rex knows every inch of this cabin, every creaking floorboard, every angle, every shadow. This is his territory, his home field advantage. The front door handle jiggles. Someone testing the lock. Rex waits. The handle jiggles again, then stops. Silence. Just wind and snow. Then the whole door explodes inward. They used a battering ram. The heavy lock holds for a second, then the frame splinters. The door swings wide, hanging crooked on broken hinges. 4 men storm through the opening. They move like soldiers. Real ones. Night vision goggles, body armor, tactical gear. These aren't thugs. These are contractors. Ex-military probably, selling their skills to whoever pays. They spread out immediately, sweeping the cabin with rifle lights. The beams cut through darkness, searching for targets. Rex doesn't give them time to adjust. He rises from beside the window and fires the shotgun twice. The blasts are deafening in the enclosed space. The first shot takes the lead man in the shoulder, spinning him around. The second catches the man behind him in the thigh. Both go down screaming. The other 2 men pivot, training their weapons toward Rex's position. But Rex is already moving. He drops and rolls behind the overturned table he positioned earlier. Bullets punch through wood, throwing splinters. Maximus launches from the shadows. The dog hits the third man from the side, jaws locking onto the man's wrist. The rifle clatters away. Man and dog crash into the wall. The fourth man swings his weapon toward the dog. Rex doesn't let him complete the motion. He's up in closing distance before the man processes the threat. Rex drives the shotgun stock into the man's face. Bone crunches. The man drops like a puppet with cut strings. 4 men down in under 15 seconds. But there's always more. Rex hears footsteps on the porch. Running. He spins toward the broken doorway just as 2 more figures appear. These ones don't rush in. They know better now. They stay outside in cover, rifles trained on the dark interior. Stalemate. They can't come in without getting shot. Rex can't go out without getting shot. The wind howls through broken windows. Snow piles up inside the cabin. Then a voice calls from outside. Deep, confident. The kind of voice that's used to being obeyed. Rex Hawk, former Navy SEAL, Team 6, 12 years service, 2 Purple Hearts, Silver Star. You've got quite the record. Vince. Has to be. Rex doesn't respond. Silence is its own kind of answer. You're protecting something that doesn't belong to you, Vince continues. Edith Thompson is collateral in a business arrangement. Her son understood the terms. She understood the terms. This is between me and Gerald. Then go talk to Gerald, Rex calls back. I would, but Gerald ran. Left his dear mother as payment. That's how this works. Not anymore. Vince laughs. It's not a pleasant sound. You really think you can stop this? You, one dog, and an old woman against me and 20 men? 20. Rex does the math. He's taken down 6. Sent 4 walking into the storm earlier. That leaves 10 if Vince isn't exaggerating. 10 trained contractors with body armor and automatic weapons. The odds aren't great. I've worked with worse odds, Rex says. Brave, stupid, but brave. Footsteps crunch in snow. Vince is moving, circling, trying to find a better angle. Here's my final offer. You send out Edith. You keep the dog. You keep your life. We all go home. Define home. Wherever you want. Mexico, Canada, someplace far from here. I'll even give you a head start. Generous. I'm a reasonable man. Reasonable men don't take hostages. Reasonable men honor debts. Vince's voice hardens. Gerald made a promise. His mother is the guarantee. That's how business works. Behind the couch, Edith starts to stand. Rex shoots her a look that pins her in place. No, he mouths silently. She shakes her head. Tears stream down her face. Let me go, she whispers. This isn't worth dying for. Yes, Rex whispers back. It is. Outside, Vince is still talking. You've got 60 seconds to decide. After that, we come in hard. Flashbangs, gas, the works. You might take down a few more of my men, but you won't survive. Neither will the woman, neither will the dog. Maximus is back at Rex's side, blood on his muzzle, eyes bright. The dog is ready for another round. But Rex sees the limp. Maximus took a bullet in Afghanistan 2 years ago. The leg never healed quite right. In extended combat, the old injury flares up. The dog is tough, but not invincible. Rex looks at the men on the floor. 2 are unconscious. 2 are groaning, trying to crawl toward the door. Their weapons are scattered. The cabin interior is destroyed. Glass everywhere. Furniture overturned. Snow piling up in drifts against the walls. He's got maybe 5 rounds left in the shotgun. 2 pistols with full magazines. The rifle with a 30-round mag. Against 10 men with full tactical gear. 60 seconds to decide. Will Rex sacrifice everything to save a woman he just met? Or will he finally admit that some fights can't be won? Rex doesn't need 60 seconds. He needs 6. He grabs the emergency flare gun from the shelf above the door. 1 shot left. He's been saving it for winter emergencies, for nights when he needed to signal search and rescue. This qualifies. He fires through the broken window. The flare screams into the sky, burning red against the falling snow. It arcs high, then explodes into brilliant light. The entire clearing becomes day for 5 seconds. Every shadow vanishes, every hiding spot exposed. Rex counts them. 8 men, not 10. Vince lied about the numbers. They're positioned around the cabin in a loose perimeter. Most are behind trees. 2 are prone in the snow. 1 is on the roof. The flare dies. Darkness returns. But now Rex knows exactly where they are. Cute trick, Vince calls. Won't save you. Rex is already moving. He grabs Edith's arm. Back door, now. What about move? He pushes her toward the rear of the cabin. Maximus follows, favoring his left hind leg. Rex can hear the men repositioning outside. They know the flare wasn't just for show. They know he's planning something. The back door leads to the shed. 20 feet of open ground. In this snow, in this darkness, it might as well be 20 miles. They'll be exposed. Easy targets. But Rex isn't going to the shed. He's going under it. 6 months ago, he dug an escape tunnel. Started beneath the shed, ran it 40 feet into the tree line, just wide enough for a man to crawl through. He covered the forest exit with branches and moss. It's invisible unless you know where to look. Old habits from a life where escape routes meant survival. He yanks open the back door. Snow blasts in. The shed is a dark shape barely visible through the white chaos. "When I say run, you run," Rex tells Edith. "Don't stop, don't look back. Get to the shed door." "I can't run," she says. Her voice is small, terrified. "You can. You will." He waits 3 heartbeats. Listening. The wind covers most sounds, but he can hear voices. The men are moving closer to the front. They're preparing for a final assault. They think Rex is still inside, planning a last stand. "Run." Edith runs. She's not fast. Her legs don't work right. But she moves. Clutching that blanket, lurching through knee-deep snow. Rex is behind her, shotgun up, covering their retreat. Maximus brings up the rear, limping but determined. 15 feet. 10 feet. 5 feet. A shout from behind them. Someone saw them. A rifle cracks. The bullet hits snow 6 inches from Rex's boot. Rex spins and fires blind. The shotgun blast lights up the darkness for a fraction of a second. Someone screams. Not a kill shot, just enough to buy time. They reach the shed. Rex yanks open the door and shoves Edith inside. Maximus follows. Rex slams the door and throws the bolt. It won't hold long, maybe 30 seconds. "Where are we going?" Edith gasps. "Down." He kicks aside the false floorboard. The tunnel entrance yawns black underneath. A wooden ladder descends into darkness. It looks like a grave. "I can't climb down there," Edith says. "You can. I'll help you." He guides her to the ladder. She's shaking so hard she can barely grip. The rungs. Rex supports her weight, taking it slow, 1 step at a time. Maximus watches from above, whining. Behind them, fists pound on the shed door. Voices shouting. They're coming. Edith reaches the tunnel floor. Rex whistles once. Maximus doesn't hesitate. The dog jumps into the hole, lands beside Edith, absorbs the impact with bent legs. Old training. They've done this before, overseas, dropping into hostile tunnels to clear them. Rex follows. He pulls the false floorboard back into place above him. Darkness swallows everything. The tunnel smells like earth and cold stone. Above, the shed door explodes inward. Footsteps thunder across the floor. Men shouting, searching. They're looking for where Rex went. Someone stomps on the false floorboard. Rex freezes. The wood flexes slightly under the weight, but holds. The man moves on, still searching. "He's not here," someone yells. "Check the perimeter. He can't have gone far." The footsteps retreat. Silence. Rex counts to 60. Then he turns on the small LED light attached to his keychain. The tunnel appears around them. Narrow, low ceiling, wooden support beams every 6 feet. Edith is crying silently, tears streaming down her face. "We're okay," Rex whispers. "We're getting out." "I'm sorry," she says. "I'm so sorry. This is my fault. It's Gerald's fault, not yours. I raised him. I made him who he is." Rex doesn't argue. No time. He can hear engines starting above. Vince's men are spreading out, searching the forest. They'll find the tunnel exit eventually. It's only 40 feet away. In daylight, it would take them 5 minutes. In this storm, maybe 20. Either way, they need to move. He guides Edith forward. The tunnel is barely 4 feet high. She can walk hunched over. Rex has to crawl. Maximus moves ahead, nose low, checking for threats. The dog's training never fades. The tunnel seems to stretch forever. Rex's knees ache, his shoulders burn. Behind them, muffled voices. They're searching the shed again. Someone shouts something about a trap door. They found the entrance. Faster, Rex urges. Edith tries. She stumbles, falls, gets up, keeps moving. Her breath comes in ragged gasps. The exertion is too much for her, but she doesn't stop. Ahead, Maximus barks once, found the exit. Rex pushes past Edith and reaches the ladder. Wooden rungs leading up to a trap door covered with snow and branches. He climbs and pushes. The door resists, frozen shut. He pushes harder. Something cracks. The door swings open. Cold air rushes in. Fresh snow. Freedom. Rex pulls himself out and turns to help Edith. She's climbing now, slowly, hands shaking on each rung. Maximus waits below, patient. The dog will go last. Edith reaches the top. Rex hauls her out into the snow. They're 50 yards from the cabin, hidden in dense trees. Through the branches, Rex can see lights. Flashlights sweeping the forest, searching. Maximus emerges from the tunnel and immediately shakes off snow. The dog's breathing is labored. The old wound is causing problems. They need to move. But where? The truck is back at the cabin, probably surrounded. Town is 7 miles through a blizzard. Edith can barely walk. Maximus is injured. Rex is running on adrenaline and stubbornness. Then he hears it. A sound out of place, not wind, not voices, an engine. Close, getting closer. Headlights pierce the trees, a vehicle approaching from the east, moving slow through the snow. Not one of Vince's SUVs. This is different. Bigger, heavier, a snowplow. The county snowplow making its rounds, clearing the back roads before the storm gets worse. The driver has no idea what's happening here. Just doing his job. Clearing snow, going home. The plow is heading right toward them. Rex makes a decision. It's desperate, probably stupid. But it's the only option they have. He steps into the road and waves his arms. The plow's headlights blind him. Air brakes hiss. The massive vehicle grinds to a stop 20 feet away. The driver's door opens. A man climbs down. Big guy, maybe 60. Beard covered in ice. He looks at Rex, then at Edith, then at the blood-covered dog. "You folks need help?" the driver asks. Behind them, voices get louder. The flashlights are closer. Vince's men are spreading through the trees. They'll spot the plow any second. Rex pulls the Glock from his belt and points it at the driver. "I'm really sorry about this," Rex says. "But yes, we need help." The driver's hands go up slowly. No panic, just calm assessment. His eyes flick to the gun, then back to Rex's face. "Son," he says quietly, "I've been driving this route for 30 years. I've seen a lot of strange things, but this might take the prize." "I'm not going to hurt you," Rex says, "but we need your truck." "Okay." The driver's voice stays level. "Mind telling me why?" A flashlight beam cuts through the trees behind them. Someone shouts. They've spotted the plow. No time to explain. Rex gestures with the gun. "Please, just trust me." The driver looks past Rex at Edith, shivering in her blanket. At Maximus, blood matting his fur. At the desperation in Rex's eyes. Something in the old man's face changes. He's making a calculation, deciding whether Rex is dangerous or desperate. "My name's Luther," the driver says. "Luther Washington, and I'll help you. But put that gun away before you shoot your own foot off." Rex lowers the weapon. "Thank you. Thank me when we're not dead." Luther moves to the passenger side and yanks the door open. "Get the lady in first." Rex helps Edith up into the cab. It's warm inside. The radio crackles with dispatcher chatter. The dashboard glows with orange lights. Edith collapses into the seat, gasping. Maximus jumps up after her. The dog settles at her feet, tongue hanging out, panting hard. Rex climbs in last. Luther's already back in the driver's seat, hands on the wheel. He doesn't ask questions, just throws the transmission into gear. The plow lurches forward. Snow explodes from the blade as they accelerate. Behind them, men burst from the tree line. Rex sees them in the side mirror. 3, 4, 5 of them, rifles raised. "Down!" Rex shouts. Everyone drops. The rear window explodes. Safety glass rains into the cab. The cold wind screams through the opening. But Luther keeps driving, head low, foot on the accelerator. More shots. Something pings off the plow blade. Another round punches through the door panel 6 inches from Luther's leg. "This better be worth it," Luther mutters. "It is," Rex says. "Who are those people?" "Long story. I like long stories. Keeps me awake on night shifts." Another shot. This one hits the passenger mirror, sending it spinning off into the darkness. Edith screams. Maximus barks. Rex is halfway out the broken rear window with the Glock, returning fire. He squeezes off 3 rounds, doesn't expect to hit anything in this chaos, but maybe it'll make them think twice. The plow hits a drift and launches into the air for a second. They come down hard. The suspension groans. Luther wrestles with the wheel. They fishtail, recover, keep moving. The shots stop. They're out of range. Or maybe Vince's men gave up the chase. Doesn't matter. They're moving. That's what counts. Luther keeps the plow at 30 miles per hour. Fast enough to maintain distance. Slow enough to avoid crashing. The road ahead is barely visible. Just a tunnel of white with trees pressing in from both sides. "Where are we going?" Luther asks. Good question. The cabin is compromised. Town means police, which means questions, which means Edith gets taken into custody while they sort everything out. And while she's in custody, Vince has all the time in the world to get to her through corrupt cops or bribed guards or a dozen other ways that money can buy. Rex has seen it before. The system is supposed to protect people. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it just processes them into more convenient targets. "You know anywhere off the grid?" Rex asks. "Somewhere nobody would think to look?" Luther thinks for a moment. "Old church, about 12 miles north. Been abandoned for 20 years. No power, no heat. But it's got walls and a roof." "That'll work." Luther nods and turns the wheel. They leave the main road, following a trail that's barely visible under the snow. Trees close in overhead, branches forming a tunnel. The plow's headlights turn the world into a narrow corridor of light, surrounded by infinite darkness. In the passenger seat, Edith has stopped shaking. She's just staring ahead, blank-faced. Shock setting in. Rex has seen that look before. The moment when the brain decides that reality is too much and checks out for a while. "Miss Edith?" Rex says gently. "You still with us?" She doesn't respond. Edith. Firmer now, her eyes focus. She turns to look at him. "Why are you doing this? You don't know me. You don't owe me anything." "Already told you." "Tell me again." "Because it's right." "Right," she laughs. It sounds broken. "My son left me to die and a stranger is saving my life. Tell me where right is in that." "It's right here, right now, this moment." She looks at him for a long time, then she nods. "What's your name?" "Your real name, not just Rex." "Rex is my real name." Nobody's born with a name like Rex. I was. Mom liked Roman history. Dad wanted to name me Tyler. They compromised by giving me a name that means king and guaranteeing I'd get in fights my whole childhood. That gets a small smile from her. "Did you? Get in fights?" "Some. Learned to finish them quick." "I can tell." Luther glances at Rex. "You military?" "Was. Figured. I did 2 tours in Vietnam, long time ago now. But you don't forget certain things." He pauses. "Those men back there. They weren't just criminals, were they?" "No. They were professionals. Hired guns. Something like that. And the lady's son got involved with them somehow. That's the shape of it. Luther whistles low. Hell of a mess. It is. They drive in silence. The snow falls heavier. The windshield wipers struggle to keep up. Visibility drops to maybe 15 feet. Luther navigates by instinct more than sight, reading the terrain from 30 years of experience. Maximus shifts in the back, trying to find a comfortable position. The dog's breathing is still labored. Rex reaches down and runs his hand along the dog's ribs, checking for injuries. Everything feels intact, just exhaustion and that old war wound acting up. Your dog okay? Edith asks. He's tough. Been through worse. He saved us back there. He did. What's his name? Maximus. Strong name for a strong dog. She reaches down and gently touches the dog's head. Maximus leans into her hand, accepting the gesture. Thank you, Maximus. The dog's tail thumps once against the floor. The church appears through the trees without warning. One second there's nothing but forest, the next second there's a building. It's small. White paint peeling away in long strips. The steeple is intact but tilted slightly to one side. Snow has drifted against the walls, creating shapes that look like frozen waves. Luther parks the plow next to the front door. End of the line. They climb out into knee-deep snow. The wind is impossibly strong here, nothing to block it. It feels like being hit with fists made of ice. The church door is locked. Luther produces a key from his pocket. Used to be the custodian here. Before they shut it down, nobody ever asked for the key back. Inside, the church is dark and cold and smells like old wood and older memories. Pews are still in place, lined up in neat rows. An altar stands at the far end, cross-mounted on the wall behind it. Moonlight filters through stained glass windows, turning the snow outside into colored light. It's beautiful in a forgotten way. Luther finds some old candles and lights them. Warm light pushes back the darkness. Not much, but enough to see by. I'll get a fire going, Luther says, moving toward a wood stove in the corner. Should have this place warm in an hour. Rex helps Edith to a pew. She sits heavily, pulling that blanket tight around herself. Maximus curls up at her feet. Now what? She asks. Now we wait for morning. Then we figure out how to end this. By ending, I assume you mean killing people. If necessary. You've killed before. It's not a question. She's stating a fact. Yes. Does it get easier? No. But you get better at living with it. She's quiet for a while. The only sound is Luther working on the fire. Wood crackling, snow hitting the windows. Gerald wasn't always like this, Edith says finally. When he was young, he was kind, smart. He wanted to be a teacher. Help kids learn math because he said math was the one thing that never lied. She pauses. Then his father died. And something in Gerald died too. He started making choices, bad choices, getting involved with bad people. I tried to help, tried to guide him back. But you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. No, Rex agrees. You can't. He's going to die because of this, isn't he? Rex doesn't answer. The truth is too harsh. Edith understands the silence. She nods. At least let me talk to him first. One last time. I want him to know I don't hate him, even after everything. We'll try. Luther gets the fire going. Heat begins to spread through the church, slowly, but it's there. Rex's phone buzzes. Another text. He checks the screen. We have Gerald. Tomorrow at noon, we make the exchange. The old lumber mill off Route 27. Edith for Gerald. Come alone, or he dies. Rex shows the text to Edith. She reads it twice. It's a trap, she says. Of course it's a trap. You're going anyway. I am. Why? Because maybe we can still save your son. Or maybe we all die. Rex looks at her. This old woman who's been through hell tonight and is still thinking about saving the son who betrayed her. Then we die trying, he says. What's waiting for them at the lumber mill? And can Rex save Gerald before Vince executes his final plan? The lumber mill stands like a skeleton against the gray morning sky. Rex crouches behind a snow-covered log, binoculars pressed to his eyes. The mill's been dead for 15 years. Broken windows, collapsed roof sections, rust eating through metal support beams, nature reclaiming what humans abandoned. Perfect place for an ambush. He counts the visible positions. 2 men on the catwalk, 1 by the loading dock, another near the main entrance. 4 that he can see, which means at least 6 more hidden somewhere. Vince isn't stupid. He's setting a trap with enough teeth to kill everyone who walks into it. Beside Rex, Luther Washington adjusts his hunting rifle. The old man insisted on coming. Said something about Vietnam teaching him that brothers don't let brothers walk into hell alone. Rex tried to argue. Luther didn't listen. See the kid? Luther whispers. Rex scans the interior through the broken windows. There. 2nd floor, a figure tied to a chair. Head down, not moving much. That's Gerald Thompson. Has to be. Got him? Rex confirms. He alive? Can't tell from here. Maximus lies in the snow between them, muscles coiled tight. The dog's eyes never leave the building. He knows what's coming. Dogs always know. Back at the church, Edith wanted to come. Rex said no. She argued. Said Gerald was her son, her responsibility. Rex told her the best way to save Gerald was to stay alive herself. Gave her the Glock and told her to shoot anyone who came through the door except him, Luther, or Maximus. She took the gun without hesitation. Her hands didn't shake. Rex's watch reads 11:45. 15 minutes until the exchange. The snow stopped an hour ago. Temperature dropped to 10 below zero. Clear skies, no wind, perfect visibility, also perfect shooting conditions. Your play? Luther asks. Rex lowers the binoculars. His mind runs through scenarios. The obvious approach is the front door. Walk in with hands up. Talk to Vince. Try to negotiate. That's what they expect. Which means it's the last thing Rex will do. I go in from the east side, Rex says. There's a gap in the wall. Used to be a side entrance. You set up here with the rifle. Anyone who moves toward me, you drop them. And if they spot me first, then you drop them anyway. Luther grins. I like simple plans. Simple plans work best. Rex checks his weapons. The AR-15 slung across his back. 2 Glocks at his hips, 4 extra magazines, combat knife strapped to his ankle. Not as much firepower as he'd like, but more than enough to make Vince regret this meeting. He looks at Maximus. You stay with Luther. Protect. The dog whines. He wants to go with Rex. They've been a team for 6 years. Separation feels wrong. I know, boy, but I need you here. Luther's going to need backup. Maximus lowers his head to his paws, accepting orders he doesn't like. Rex moves through the trees, circling east. The snow muffles his footsteps. He keeps low, using terrain for cover. The gap in the wall appears 50 yards ahead, exactly where he remembered it. He reaches the opening and pauses, listening. Inside, voices echo. Someone laughing. Another voice telling him to shut up. Nervous energy. The kind men get right before violence. Rex slips through the gap. The interior is darker than expected. Shadows everywhere. Support beams create a maze of obstacles. Old machinery rusts in corners. The smell is decay and motor oil and something else. Something organic. Death, maybe. Or just the promise of it. He moves between the shadows, AR-15 ready. His breath comes out in white clouds. Each step is calculated, heel to toe. Weight distribution perfect, making less noise than the building itself as it settles and creaks. A man appears around a corner, young, maybe 25. Rifle hanging loose at his side. He's not expecting trouble from this direction. His eyes are pointed toward the front entrance. Rex closes the Ashauer distance in 4 strides. Grabs the man from behind, one hand over the mouth, the other driving the knife between the ribs, up and into the heart. The man stiffens, then goes limp. Rex lowers him silently to the concrete floor. One down, he continues deeper into the building. The voices are louder now. He can make out words. Should be here by now. Give him time. Vince is getting impatient. Rex reaches the main floor. The space opens up into a vast, empty area. The ceiling is 30 feet high. Broken skylights let in gray morning light. And there, in the center of the room, is Gerald Thompson. He's tied to a chair, duct tape across his mouth. His face is swollen, both eyes black. Dried blood on his shirt. They've been working him over. Getting information or just entertainment. Hard to tell which. Vince stands 10 feet from Gerald. He's exactly what Rex expected. Tall, well-dressed even in these conditions. Expensive jacket. Boots that cost more than most people's cars. He moves like someone who's never been told no. Never faced consequences. Never learned that money doesn't make you bulletproof. 4 men surround him. All armed, all watching the front entrance, waiting for Rex to walk through it. Rex checks his watch. 11:58. 2 minutes. He could take the shot now. Drop Vince before the man knows what's happening. But that leaves 4 armed men, and however many others are hidden. And it leaves Gerald tied to that chair, unable to move. Perfect hostage for whoever survives the initial chaos. No. Better to let Vince think he's winning. Better to let the trap close around nothing. Rex keys the small radio he borrowed from Luther. 2 clicks, the signal. Outside, a rifle shot cracks through the morning air. One of the men on the catwalk pitches forward, falls, hits the ground with a wet thump. Everyone inside the mill spins toward the sound. Vince's head snaps up. His hand moves to the pistol at his belt. "Contact!" someone shouts. "Sniper, east side." More shots. Luther is working methodically, removing pieces from Vince's board. The man by the loading dock goes down. Another position eliminated. Vince's men scatter, looking for cover. Discipline breaking, training failing. They're hired muscle, not soldiers. When things go wrong, they panic. Rex uses the chaos. He moves from shadow to shadow, closer to Gerald, the AR-15 ready, watching angles, tracking threats. One of Vince's men runs past Rex's position, too close. Rex can't let him go. He rises and fires 3 shots. Center mass. The man drops. The sound echoes. Now everyone knows there's a threat inside the building. Vince spins. His eyes find Rex. For a second, they just stare at each other. 2 men who understand violence, who've used it as a tool, who know this only ends one way. "Rex Hawk." Vince's voice is steady, impressed even. "I have to admit, I didn't think you'd be this smart. I have my moments. The sniper outside, the infiltration. Classic, misdirection." Vince nods slowly. "But you made one mistake." "What's that?" Vince smiles. He pulls a remote from his pocket. Small device, red button on top. "I put explosives under Gerald's chair. Insurance policy. You make a move, I push this button. We all die together." Rex's finger tightens on the trigger. Math running through his head. Can he kill Vince before the man pushes the button? Maybe. 60% chance. Not good enough odds when Gerald's life is the bet. So here we are, Vince continues. You can't shoot me. I can't leave without the woman. Stalemate. Where's that leave us? Simple. You bring me Edith, I give you Gerald. Nobody else has to die today. Except Edith. Except Edith. Vince agrees. But that was always going to happen. Her son made promises. Promises have prices. Gerald makes a sound behind the tape. Muffled. Desperate. He wants to say he's sorry, Vince says. Been saying it all night. Sorry for stealing. Sorry for running. Sorry for using Mommy as collateral. He walks closer to Gerald. But sorry doesn't pay debts, does it? Rex keeps the rifle trained on Vince's head. How much does he owe? $300,000. That's a lot of accounting. Turns out Gerald wasn't just an accountant. He was creative with other people's money. My money. Thought he could hide it. Thought I wouldn't notice. Vince's expression hardens. I always notice. Outside, Luther's rifle has gone silent. Either he's out of targets or he's repositioning. Either way, Rex is alone in here. Him against Vince and however many men are left. I don't have $300,000, Rex says. I know, but Edith's life is worth exactly that much. So we make the trade. Mother for son. Business concluded, you get to walk away. And if I don't bring her? Vince holds up the remote. Then I push this button and we all meet God today. Your choice. The door behind them bursts open. Edith walks through. She's alone. No wheelchair. Moving slowly but steadily. That red coat bright against the gray interior. In her hand, the Glock Rex gave her. Stop, she says. Her voice echoes in the vast space. Everyone freezes. Vince turns. His expression shifts from confidence to surprise to anger in 3 seconds. Miss Thompson, he says carefully. You weren't invited. This is my mess, Edith replies. I'm cleaning it up. Mother, no. Gerald's voice is muffled, but the words are clear enough. Edith ignores him. She walks forward. Steady steps. That gun never wavers. She's pointing it at Vince's chest. You wanted me, she says. Here I am. Let my son go. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. She raises the gun, her finger on the trigger, her hand absolutely steady. Rex sees the calculation in Vince's eyes. This old woman, this frail target. She's supposed to be helpless, supposed to be afraid. Instead, she's walking toward him with a gun and the kind of determination that only comes from having nothing left to lose. Vince's thumb hovers over the button. Will Edith sacrifice herself to save the son who betrayed her? Or will Rex find another way to end this standoff before Vince pushes that button? Edith pulls the trigger. The shot goes wide. Hits a support beam behind Vince's head. Metal sparks. The echo slams through the building like thunder. Rex is already moving. He crosses 20 feet in 3 strides. Tackles Edith sideways just as Vince's men open fire. Bullets chew through the space where she was standing. Concrete explodes. Dust fills the air. They hit the ground hard. Rex covers her body with his. Rounds punch the floor around them. Ricochets screaming off machinery. Stay down. Rex shouts over the gunfire. My son, I'll get him. Stay here. He rolls left, comes up firing. The AR-15 bucks in his hands. 3 round bursts, controlled, precise. One of Vince's men drops, then another. The rest scatter for cover. Vince is running, not toward Gerald, away from him, toward the back exit. The remote still clutched in his hand. He's abandoning his insurance policy. Which means the explosives might not exist, or might exist but aren't as effective as he claimed. Only one way to find out. Rex sprints toward Gerald. The man's eyes are wide, terrified. Tape across his mouth. Hands bound behind the chair. Rex slides the last 10 feet on his knees. Stops behind Gerald, knife out, cutting zip ties. "Can you walk?" Rex asks. Gerald rips the tape from his mouth. "Yes, I think I—" "Then walk." Rex hauls him up. Gerald's legs nearly buckle. Rex catches him, supports his weight. They move toward where Edith is still lying flat on the ground. More gunfire. Luther's rifle from outside. The old man found a new position, picking off targets. 3 of Vince's men go down in quick succession. Luther's shooting like he's 25 again. Like Vietnam never ended. Like muscle memory is the only memory that matters. Rex reaches Edith. "Up, now." She scrambles to her feet, sees Gerald. Her face transforms. All that hardness melts. She's just a mother seeing her son. "Gerald, Mom, I'm so sorry, Later." Rex interrupts. "Move. Back door. Go." He pushes them both toward the gap in the wall where he entered. They stumble forward, Gerald limping, Edith supporting him, moving too slow but moving. Behind them, Vince's remaining men are regrouping. Rex counts 3, maybe 4. They're flanking, trying to cut off the escape route. Rex drops to one knee. Fires controlled bursts, covering fire, not trying to kill. Just buying time. Keeping heads down, creating space. The AR-15's bolt locks back. Empty magazine. He ejects it. Reaches for a fresh one. Fingers find nothing. He's out. The Glock's then. He drops the rifle and draws both pistols. Stands. Advances toward the remaining men. Walking forward into their fire. Shooting as he moves. This is what they taught him in training. When retreat isn't an option, attack. Make yourself a harder target by becoming the aggressor. Turn defense into offense. Fear into fury. It's insane. It's also effective. The men see him coming. They see the determination. They see someone who won't stop, won't quit, won't die easy. One man breaks, runs for the door. The others follow. Self-preservation overriding orders. Money isn't worth dying for. Rex lets them go. He's not here to rack up a body count. He's here to save 2 people and end this nightmare. He turns. Gerald and Edith are through the gap, safe outside. Luther is covering them from his position. The old man gives Rex a thumbs up. Now for Vince. Rex reloads the Glocks and moves deeper into the mill. Vince went toward the back. There's an office back there. Or what used to be an office. Now it's probably just another pile of debris. The building groans, old metal settling, or maybe protesting. Everything here wants to collapse. It's just waiting for the right push. Rex finds the office. The door is closed. He presses his ear against it. Listening. Nothing. He tries the handle. Locked. Rex steps back and kicks. The door explodes inward. He goes through fast, low, both guns up. Vince is sitting behind a desk. Gun on the surface in front of him. Hands visible, not touching the weapon. He looks calm, like this was expected. "Took you long enough," Vince says. "Been busy. I noticed. You killed a lot of my people today. They chose poorly. They chose money. Same as everyone." Vince leans back in the chair. "You want to shoot me?" "Depends." "On what?" "On whether you push that button." Vince laughs. He picks up the remote, turns it over in his hands. There is no button. No explosives. Just a garage door opener I grabbed from the truck. Bought me time, though, didn't it? Rex keeps the guns trained on him. Then you've got nothing. I've got this. Vince gestures around them. This empire I built. This network. You think killing me ends anything? There's always someone else. Always another debt. Always another Gerald stealing what doesn't belong to him. Not my problem. It will be. Because you saved Edith. Which means you're now responsible for her. And responsibility is just another word for vulnerability. Vince stands slowly, hands still visible. They'll come for her. Maybe not today. Maybe not this week. But eventually. I'll be ready. No one's ever ready. Vince picks up his gun. Rex's fingers tighten on the triggers. But Vince doesn't point the weapon. He sets it down, away from himself, surrendering. I'm done. Gerald can keep his life. Edith can keep hers. Tell them the debt is forgiven. Rex doesn't lower his guns. Just like that? Just like that. Vince moves toward the window, looks out at the snow-covered forest. You know what I learned in this business? Some fights aren't worth winning. You walk in here, take out half my crew, embarrass me in front of everyone. If I keep pushing, you'll kill me. I see it in your eyes. You've got that look, that 1,000-yard stare. You've been to war. Multiple wars. Then you understand. Sometimes retreat is the smartest move. He turns back to Rex. So I'm retreating. You win. Congratulations. How do I know you won't come back? You don't. But I give you my word. For whatever that's worth. Rex studies him, looking for the lie, the angle, the hidden blade. But all he sees is a man who's finally encountered someone more dangerous than himself. Someone willing to go further, risk more, pay higher prices. If you break your word, Rex says quietly, I'll find you. Doesn't matter where you go, how deep you hide, I'll find you. I believe you. Vince nods slowly. We're done here, Rex Hawk. Walk away. Live your life. Forget about me. Rex backs toward the door. Gun still raised. Vince doesn't move, doesn't reach for his weapon, just stands there watching. Rex exits the office, moves through the mill. The bodies of Vince's men are scattered across the concrete. Some dead, some wounded, all out of the fight. He reaches the gap in the wall. Sunlight streams through. Fresh air. Freedom. Outside, Edith is holding Gerald, both of them crying. Luther stands nearby, rifle lowered, giving them space. Maximus sits at attention, tail wagging, proud of a job well done. Rex walks over. Gerald sees him, breaks away from his mother, drops to his knees. Thank you, Gerald says. His voice cracks. Thank you. I don't deserve it. I know I don't. I left my mother. I ran. I'm a coward. Stop. Rex's voice cuts through the rambling. You made mistakes. Big ones. Now you fix them. How? By being better. By protecting her the way she protected you. By earning back what you threw away. Gerald nods, tears streaming down his swollen face. I will. I swear I will. Edith touches Rex's arm. What you did for us. What anyone should have done. But you're the only one who did. She squeezes his arm. How can we repay you? By living, by being a family. That's payment enough. Luther approaches, claps Rex on the shoulder. Hell of a morning. That it was. You think Vince will keep his word? Time will tell. They walk back toward the snowplow. The sun is higher now. The temperature rising, maybe up to 15 degrees. Almost warm by Michigan winter standards. Maximus trots beside Rex. The dog limps slightly, but his tail is high. He did good work today. Protected his pack, served his purpose. Rex stops, looks back at the lumber mill. A figure stands in one of the broken windows. Vince, watching them leave. His face is unreadable at this distance. Then he's gone. Disappeared into the building's shadows. You okay? Luther asks. Rex turns away. Yeah, I'm okay. They pile into the plow. Luther starts the engine. The big machine rumbles to life. They head back toward the church, back toward safety, back toward whatever comes next. In the passenger seat, Edith holds Gerald's hand. Mother and son, together, damaged but alive. Rex watches the forest pass by, his mind already moving to the next problem. Where will Edith and Gerald go? The cabin is compromised. They need somewhere safe. Somewhere Vince can't find them if he changes his mind. His phone buzzes. Text message. Unknown number. The message reads, "Well played, soldier, but the game's not over. V." What does Vince's cryptic message mean? And has Rex truly ended the threat? Or just delayed the inevitable? The church is exactly as they left it. Rex enters first, gun drawn, checking corners. Empty. Safe. The fire has burned down to embers. The candles melted into puddles of wax. But otherwise, undisturbed. Edith and Gerald follow him inside. Luther comes last, closing the door against the cold. Maximus immediately goes to the wood stove and collapses beside it. The dog is exhausted. "We should get moving," Rex says. "Put distance between us and that mill." "Where would we go?" Edith asks. She settles onto a pew, pulling Gerald down beside her. "We don't have anywhere." "You can't go home, not for a while. Vince knows where you live." "Then what?" Luther speaks up. "I got a cousin in Wisconsin, owns a farm outside Rhinelander, middle of nowhere. He owes me a favor from way back." He looks at Edith. "You and your son could stay there. Few weeks? Let things cool down." "We couldn't impose. It's not an imposition. It's necessity." Luther's voice is firm, kind but firm. "You stay around here, you're targets. You go somewhere nobody knows to look, you're safe." Gerald finally speaks. His voice is hoarse, broken. "Why are you helping us? After what I did? After I left my mother to die?" Luther looks at him for a long moment. "Son, I've done things in my life I'm not proud of. Things that haunt me at night. Things I'd take back if I could." He pauses. "But I can't. All I can do is try to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. You understand what I'm telling you?" Gerald nods slowly. "Then you take this chance. You protect your mother. You make different choices. You be better." Luther stands. "And you don't waste the second chance that man gave you." He nods toward Rex. Rex is at the window, watching the tree line, looking for movement, threats. Vince's text keeps playing in his mind. The game's not over. What does that mean? Is it just posturing? A way to save face after losing? Or is it a real threat? A promise of future violence? Rex has been in enough fights to know the difference between men who talk tough and men who are actually dangerous. Vince is the second kind, which means this isn't finished. "We need to move," Rex says again. "Now." "What's wrong?" Edith asks. "Feeling. Just a feeling." "I trust your feelings," Luther says. He moves toward the door. "I'll get the plow ready." He exits. The door closes. Silence fills the church, except for the wind outside and the dog's heavy breathing. Edith stands, walks over to Rex. "Tell me the truth. Are we safe? For now? And later?" "Later depends on whether Vince was lying." "You think he was?" "I think men like Vince don't forgive debts. They might postpone collection, but they don't forgive." Edith is quiet. Then she says, "I should have been a better mother. Should have seen what Gerald was becoming. Should have stopped him before it got this far." Parents can't control everything? No. But we can try. I didn't try hard enough. She looks at her son. Gerald is staring at the floor, shame written all over his face. "He's all I have, my only family. If something happens to him, nothing's going to happen to him, or to you." "You can't promise that." "No, but I can try." Outside, an engine roars to life. Luther getting the plow ready. The sound is oddly comforting, Familiar. Normal in a situation that's anything but. Rex's phone buzzes again. He checks it. Photo message. No text, just an image. The image shows the outside of the church, taken from the tree line, maybe 50 yards away. Recent. The snow in the photo matches the current conditions, which means someone is out there right now, watching. Rex's entire body goes cold. "Everyone down," he says quietly. "Now." "What down?" Edith drops. Gerald follows. They're behind the pews. Good cover. Solid wood that might stop small arms fire. Rex moves to the window. Peers out carefully. The tree line is a wall of shadows. Could be dozens of men hiding there. Could be one man with a phone. No way to know. The door bursts open. Luther stumbles inside. Blood streaming down his face. He's holding his side. More blood there. Too much blood. "They're here," he gasps. "Least 6 of them, maybe more. They shot me when I came out." Rex catches him before he falls. Lowers him to the floor. The wound in Luther's side is bad. Bullet went through. Exit wound in back. Liver, maybe. Or kidney. Either way, he's bleeding out. "Put pressure on it," Rex tells Edith. She rushes over. Presses her hands against the wound. Luther hisses in pain. "Sorry," she whispers. "I'm sorry." "Not your fault, ma'am." Luther's face is pale. Shock setting in. This is what I signed up for. Rex is already moving. He grabs the AR-15, checks the magazine. 20 rounds. Not enough for 6 men, but better than nothing. "How long until they move in?" Rex asks Luther. "Minutes. They're setting up positions, surrounding the building." Luther coughs, blood on his lips. Should have seen it coming. Got old. Got slow. "You saved our lives twice today. That's not slow. Tell that to my ribs." Rex returns to the window. He can see shapes now, moving between trees. Professional. Coordinated. These aren't the same men from the lumber mill. These are fresh troops. Vince's backup plan. The text makes sense now. The game's not over. Vince knew Rex would run, knew where he'd go, had people watching the church, waiting for them to return. Rex walked right into it. "We're trapped," Gerald says from behind the pew. His voice is shaking. "We're going to die here." "Shut up," his mother snaps. "You don't get to quit now." "But there's no way out. You heard Luther? They've got us surrounded." Rex looks at Maximus. The dog is on his feet now. Hackles raised, growling at the door. He senses what's coming. "There's always a way out," Rex says. "What way?" Gerald's voice cracks. "They've got the doors covered, the windows covered. We can't fight 6 men. You're low on ammo. Luther's dying. I said shut up." Edith's voice is steel. She looks at Rex. "What's the plan?" Rex thinks. The church has one advantage. It's old. Built when people actually cared about construction, thick walls, solid foundation, hard to burn, hard to blow up. But it's also a box. One way in, one way out. Anyone who stays inside is a target waiting to be killed. Unless they don't stay inside. "The bell tower," Rex says. "Structural weakness where the steeple connects. We kick it hard enough, it'll collapse. Create chaos, smoke, confusion. We use that to run." "That's insane," Gerald says. "You have a better idea?" Gerald doesn't answer. "Edith, help Luther to his feet. Gerald, grab anything that burns. Hymnals, old curtains, whatever you can find. Pile it by the stove." They move fast. Edith supports Luther. Gerald gathers combustibles. Rex climbs the narrow stairs to the bell tower. The space is cramped, dusty. The bell itself is still there, rusted but heavy, maybe 300 pounds. The steeple connections are exactly as Rex remembered. Old wood, dry rot. One good impact could break them. Below, Voices outside. Someone's shouting orders. They're preparing to breach any second now. Rex descends. Light the fire. Make it big. Lots of smoke. Gerald strikes a match. The old hymnals catch immediately. Flames spread. Smoke begins to fill the church. The old wood is dry as bone. Within seconds, the fire is growing, consuming, turning the sanctuary into an oven. Now what? Edith asks. She's coughing from the smoke. Now we wait 30 seconds. Let the smoke build. Then I bring down the tower. You run for the tree line. Don't stop. Don't look back. Luther knows the way to his truck. You're not coming with us, Edith says. It's not a question. Someone has to hold them off. Buy you time. That's suicide. Maybe, but it's the only play we have. Outside, wood splinters. They're breaching the door. Multiple entry points, front and back simultaneously. Go, Rex says. Now. He climbs back up to the tower, positions himself, plants his feet, the AR-15 slung across his back, both hands free. Below, Edith, Gerald, and Luther are moving toward the side window, Maximus with them. The dog looks back at Rex, whines once. Protect them, boy, Rex calls down. The dog's ears flatten, then he turns and follows the others out the window. The church door explodes inward. Men pour through. 4 of them, rifles up, moving like professionals. They see the fire, the smoke. They're confused for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is all Rex needs. He kicks the support beam, once, twice, 3 times. The wood cracks, splinters, gives way. The entire steeple tilts, then falls. 300 pounds of cast iron bell crashes through the roof, hits the floor. The impact is enormous. The floor collapses. The bell drops through into the basement, taking 2 of Vince's men with it. Dust and smoke explode upward. Rex jumps, lands in the chaos, rolls, comes up shooting. The AR-15 barks, short bursts. 2 men down, the others scramble for cover. Rex is already moving. Through the smoke, out the side window, into the snow. Behind him, the church is burning. Black smoke rising into the clear sky. Flames licking through the broken roof. Ahead, Edith, Gerald, and Luther are 50 yards into the trees. Moving slow but moving, Maximus at their heels. Rex sprints after them. Bullets kick up snow around his feet. He doesn't look back, just runs. They reach Luther's truck, an old Ford F-150, rusted but running. Luther kept it parked a quarter mile from the church. Emergency vehicle, just in case. Rex catches up, helps Luther into the back seat. Edith and Gerald climb in. Maximus jumps into the bed. Rex gets behind the wheel, turns the key. The engine coughs again. Come on, Rex mutters. Behind them, Vince's men are emerging from the smoke. Running toward them, raising weapons. The engine catches, roars to life. Rex floors it. The truck lurches forward, tires spinning, then catching. They're moving, away from the church, away from the fire, away from the men trying to kill them. In the rearview mirror, the church collapses in on itself. A pillar of black smoke marks where it stood. Where are we going? Edith asks. Away, Rex says, as far away as we can get. But as they drive, Rex knows the truth. You can't outrun men like Vince. You can only face them, end them, or die trying. And this isn't over. Not by a long shot. Is Luther going to survive his wounds? And how far will Vince go to get his revenge before this war finally ends? The hospital is small. 20 beds, 1 doctor on duty, 2 nurses. It's 40 miles from the burning church and 100 miles from Vince's reach. Or so Rex hopes. Luther Washington lies on a bed in the emergency room. IV in his arm, monitors beeping. The doctor, a tired woman in her 50s named Dr. Pierce, is sewing up the gunshot wound. Her hands move with practiced efficiency. She's seen bullet wounds before. Too many, probably. "He'll live," Dr. Pierce says without looking up. "Lost a lot of blood. The bullet missed anything vital by about half an inch. Lucky man." "I don't feel lucky," Luther mutters. His eyes are closed. Pain medication dulling the edge but not eliminating it. Rex stands by the door, watching, waiting, his hand never far from the Glock at his hip. Hospitals are terrible defensive positions. Too many entrances, too many windows, too many people who could be threats. In the waiting room, Edith sits with Gerald. They're talking quietly. She's holding his hand. He's crying again, apologizing again. She's forgiving him, again and again, the way mothers do. Maximus lies at Rex's feet. The dog hasn't left his side since they arrived. Loyal to the end. That's what dogs do. They don't run. They don't abandon. They stay. Dr. Pierce finishes the stitches. "I have to report this. Gunshot wound. It's the law." "I know," Rex says. "Police will be here in an hour. Maybe less." "That's fine." She looks at him. Really looks. Takes in the tactical clothing, the weapons, the eyes that have seen too much. "You military?" "Was." "And these people?" She nods toward the waiting room. "They friends?" "Something like that." "They in danger?" "Yes." Dr. Pierce pulls off her gloves, tosses them in the trash. There's a back exit, through the supply room. Doors never locked. "I didn't tell you that." Rex meets her eyes. "Thank you." "Thank me by keeping them alive, and by being gone before the cops show up. I don't need the paperwork." She leaves. The door swings shut behind her. Luther opens his eyes. Smart woman. Very. "You gonna take her advice? Already planning the route?" Luther laughs, then winces. "Don't make me laugh. Hurts like hell." Rex pulls up a chair, sits down beside the bed. "You did good today. Saved a lot of lives." "Yeah, well, had to do something. Can't just let good people die." "Most people would. Most people are cowards." Luther's voice is getting weaker, the medication pulling him under. "You're not a coward, Rex Hawk. You're a good man. Rare thing these days. I'm just doing what needs doing." "That's what good men say." Luther's eyes close. His breathing evens out. Sleep taking him, or unconsciousness. Hard to tell which. Rex stands, moves to the waiting room. Edith sees him coming, reads his face. "We need to leave," she says. "Soon, before the police arrive." "Where do we go?" "Wisconsin, like Luther said. His cousin's farm." "And you're coming with us?" "For now, until I'm sure you're safe." Gerald looks up. His face is a mess. Swollen, bruised, covered in dried blood. "Why are you still helping us? You've done enough. More than enough. You don't owe us anything." Rex looks at this man. This coward who left his mother to die. This thief who stole money and ran. This son who betrayed everything. And yet. "Because second chances matter," Rex says. "And everyone deserves one. Even me. Especially you. Now prove you're worth it." They leave through the back exit. The supply room is exactly where Dr. Pierce said it would be. The door opens onto an alley, fresh snow falling, no one around. Luther's truck is parked 2 blocks away. They walk quickly, not running. Running draws attention, but moving with purpose, like people who have somewhere to be. They reach the truck. Rex starts the engine, checks the mirrors. The street behind them is empty. No pursuit, no sirens, not yet. They drive north, away from the hospital, away from the church, away from everything that happened in the last 24 hours. The radio plays country music, something about heartbreak and whiskey. Edith turns it off. The silence is better. "I need to ask you something," she says after 10 miles. "Ask." "That man, Vince, you think he's going to let this go?" "No." "So, what do we do?" "We disappear. Change names, change locations, start over." "For how long?" "As long as it takes." Gerald speaks from the back seat. "That's not a life. Always running, always looking over your shoulder, always afraid. It's better than being dead." "Is it?" Rex glances in the rearview mirror, meets Gerald's eyes. "Yes. Because when you're alive, you have options. When you're dead, you have none." They drive in silence. The miles pass. The landscape changes from forest to farmland. Flat fields buried under snow, barns dotting the horizon, silos rising like monuments to a different way of life. Rex's phone buzzes. Text message. He almost doesn't check it. Probably Vince again with more threats, more posturing, more promises of violence, but he checks it anyway. The message is from an unknown number, but the content makes his blood run cold. "I know where you're going. I know who Luther's cousin is. I know everything. Run all you want. I'll always find you. This ends when I say it ends." V. Rex reads it twice, then deletes it. But the words stay in his mind, burned there. Permanent. Vince isn't giving up. He's hunting them, and he's always one step ahead. "What is it?" Edith asks. She sees his expression change. "Nothing, just checking directions." "Don't lie to me. Not after everything." Rex is quiet for a moment. Then he says, "Vince is tracking us. He knows where we're going." The truck goes silent. Even the engine seems to quiet, like the whole world is holding its breath. "Then we don't go to Wisconsin," Edith says. "Where do we go?" "Wherever he doesn't expect." "And where's that?" Edith looks at Gerald, then back at Rex. "Home. We go home." That's the first place he'll look. Exactly. Which means he won't expect it. He'll think we're running, think we're afraid. We go back and we face him. That's suicide. Maybe. But I'm tired of running. Tired of being afraid. Tired of letting that man control my life. Her voice hardens. If he wants to end this, then we end it. On our terms. In our place. Rex looks at her. This old woman who's been through hell? Who should be traumatized, broken, defeated. Instead, she's ready to fight. "You understand what you're saying?" Rex asks. "If we go back, there's no retreat, no escape plan. We stand and fight, and some of us might not make it out." "I understand." "Gerald, you understand?" From the back seat, Gerald's voice comes out stronger than before. "I understand, and I'm ready." Rex nods slowly, then he turns the truck around. They're going home, back to where this started, back to face the man who's been hunting them. And this time, one way or another, it ends. The road stretches behind them, snow falling heavier now, covering their tracks, erasing their path. Like none of this ever happened. But it did happen, and it's not finished. Rex grips the wheel tighter. His mind is already planning, calculating, preparing for what comes next. Because Vince is right about one thing. The game isn't over. But he's wrong about who's going to win it. Will Rex's desperate plan to turn the tables on Vince succeed? Or is he leading Edith and Gerald into a trap from which none of them will escape? If you've made it this far, you're part of something special. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. This story isn't over, and neither is our journey together. Drop a comment below, sharing your thoughts. Your words inspire others and keep these stories coming. See you in the next chapter. Edith's house sits at the end of a quiet street in Grayling. Small, single story. White paint peeling in places. A maple tree in the front yard, branches bare and covered in ice. The wheelchair ramp leading to the porch is buried under 2 feet of snow. It looks abandoned, peaceful, harmless. Rex knows better. He parks the truck 3 blocks away. They approach on foot. Maximus leads, nose low, checking for threats. The dog moves silently through the snow. Professional, trained, ready. Looks empty, Gerald whispers. It's not, Rex replies. How do you know? Because I'd be inside waiting if I were him. They circle the house. Rex checks every window, every door, every possible entry point. The back door has been forced. Recent. The lock is broken. Snow has drifted inside through the gap. Someone's been here. Maybe still is. Rex signals for Edith and Gerald to wait. He draws the Glock. Maximus stays at his side. They move to the back door. Rex pushes it open slowly, inch by inch. No sound. No movement. The kitchen is exactly as Edith left it. Coffee pot on the counter, dishes in the sink. A calendar on the wall showing December with various appointments marked in neat handwriting. Rex moves through the house. Living room, empty. Bathroom, empty. 2 bedrooms, both empty. But someone was here. The cushions on the couch are disturbed. A lamp is knocked over. The air smells wrong, like cologne and cigarettes. Not Edith's scent, someone else's. They searched the house, looking for information, addresses, phone numbers, anything that would help them track Edith and Gerald. Rex returns to the back door, signals that it's clear. Edith and Gerald enter. Edith looks around her home. Her face is unreadable. They went through everything, she says quietly, looking for leads. They won't find anything useful. I don't keep much written down anymore. That's good. Gerald moves to the window, looks out at the street. So, now what? We just wait for them to come back? That's exactly what we do, Rex says. And then? Then we end this. Rex spends the next hour setting up. It's not complicated, just effective. He learned these techniques in Afghanistan. How to turn a civilian home into a defensive position. How to create kill zones. How to maximize advantage. He positions furniture to create choke points. Moves the couch to block the front door. Empties the refrigerator and stacks the contents to create makeshift barriers. Takes down pictures from the walls to eliminate glass that could become shrapnel. Edith watches him work. You've done this before. Many times. Did it work? I'm still alive. That's not what I asked. Rex stops, looks at her. Sometimes people died anyway. Sometimes I couldn't save them. But I tried. That has to count for something. It counts for everything. They wait. Hours pass. Afternoon turns to evening. The sun sets. Darkness fills the house. Rex doesn't turn on any lights. Dark is better. Dark means advantage to whoever knows the terrain. And Rex knows this terrain now. Every room, every corner, every creak in the floorboards. At 8 p.m., headlights appear at the end of the street. 2 vehicles, SUVs, moving slowly, hunting. They're here, Rex says quietly. Edith takes Gerald's hand, squeezes it. I love you. No matter what happens, I love you. I love you too, Mom. Then let's survive this, together. The SUVs stop in front of the house. Engines idle, doors open. 6 men climb out. Maybe 7. Hard to count in the darkness. They spread out, surrounding the house. Professional formation. They've done this before. Rex is positioned in the hallway. Best sightlines. Cover on both sides. Maximus is with Edith and Gerald in the back bedroom. If things go wrong, they run. The dog will protect them. A voice calls from outside. Vince's voice. I know you're in there, Rex. I can feel you. We're connected now, bonded by violence. Rex doesn't respond. This doesn't have to end badly. Vince continues. You walk out. You walk away. Edith and Gerald stay. We have a conversation. Settle this like adults. Still no response from Rex. Or we do this the hard way. We burn the house down, smoke you out, kill everyone inside. Your choice. Rex checks his weapons. The Glock, full magazine. The backup Glock at his ankle, also full. The combat knife, sharp, ready. Not enough firepower to fight 7 men, but enough to make them regret coming here. The front window explodes. A brick crashes through, then another, then glass bottles with flaming rags, Molotov cocktails. They hit the living room floor and explode into flame. Fire spreads across the carpet. Up the curtains, the heat is immediate and intense. Move, Rex shouts. Back door, now. Edith and Gerald run, Maximus with them. They hit the back door and burst through into the snow. 3 of Vince's men are waiting there, rifles raised. The ambush was expected, but so was the counter-ambush. Rex is through the back door before the men can react. He shoots the first man twice. Center mass. The man drops. The second man swings his rifle toward Rex. Too slow. Rex is already inside his guard. Knife out, up through the ribs, into the heart. The man gasps and falls. The third man fires. The shot goes wide. Panic shooting. Rex doesn't panic. He aims, fires. The man's head snaps back. Down. 3 down in under 5 seconds. Run, Rex tells Edith. Toward the street. Don't stop. They run. Through the snow. Between houses. The fire is spreading behind them. Edith's house is fully engulfed now. Flames reaching 30 feet high. Black smoke rising into the night sky. Vince's remaining men are coming, running after them, shouting. Rex stops, turns, provides covering fire. The Glock barks repeatedly. 1 man goes down. Another dives for cover. Maximus suddenly charges past Rex. The dog is a blur of fur and teeth. He hits one of the men from the side. They both go down. The man screams. The dog's jaws are locked on his throat. Then a shot rings out. Loud, close. Maximus yelps and rolls off the man. No. Rex sees it happen in slow motion, sees his partner, his brother, his friend, collapse into the snow, blood spreading beneath him. Something inside Rex breaks. He charges, no thought, no plan, just rage, pure and complete. The man who shot Maximus tries to raise his rifle again. Too slow. Rex is on him. The knife comes out, goes in. Again, again, again. Until the man stops moving, stops breathing, stops existing. Rex stands over the body, blood on his hands, blood on his face, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The remaining men see him, see what he's become. They hesitate. That hesitation is fatal. Rex moves like a ghost, like death itself. He takes them apart, one by one. No mercy, no hesitation, just violence distilled into its purest form. When it's over, 4 more bodies lie in the snow, and only 1 man is left standing. Vince. He's backing away. Gun raised, but hands shaking. Stay back, I'm warning you. Rex keeps walking, slow, steady, inevitable. I said stay back. Rex doesn't stop. Vince fires. The bullet hits Rex in the shoulder. Pain explodes through his body, but he doesn't stop. Can't stop. Vince fires again. Misses. Then the gun clicks empty. Rex reaches him, grabs him by the throat, lifts him off the ground. Vince claws at Rex's hands, gasping, desperate. Please, Vince chokes out. Please, I'll leave. I'll disappear. You'll never see me again. Rex looks into his eyes, sees the fear, the desperation, the understanding that death has finally caught up with him. You're right, Rex says quietly. I'll never see you again. He throws Vince into the burning house, into the flames. Vince screams. The sound is horrible, human. Rex turns away and walks back to where Maximus lies in the snow. The dog is still breathing, shallow, labored, but breathing. "Hold on, boy," Rex whispers. "Just hold on." He picks up the dog, carries him toward where Edith and Gerald are waiting. Behind them, the house collapses. The flames reach higher. The screaming stops. It's over. They walk to the truck. Rex drives one-handed, the shoulder wound bleeding but manageable. Maximus lies in Edith's lap. She strokes his fur, whispering to him, telling him he's a good boy, the best boy. The veterinary emergency clinic is in Traverse City, 90 minutes away. Rex makes it in 60. The vet is young, competent. She takes Maximus immediately, works on him for 2 hours. When she comes out, her face is tired, but hopeful. "He'll live," she says. "The bullet missed his spine by inches. He's tough." "He is," Rex agrees. "You all look like you need medical attention too." "We'll manage." The vet doesn't argue. She's smart enough to know when not to ask questions. They wait in the lobby, Edith sitting between Rex and Gerald, 3 people who survived hell, bruised, bloody, broken in ways that might never heal, but alive. "What now?" Gerald asks. "Now we start over," Edith says. "New names, new location, new life." "And Rex?" Gerald looks at him. "You coming with us?" Rex thinks about that. About this family he accidentally saved. This family that's become something more than strangers. About Maximus recovering in the back room. About the future that stretches ahead, uncertain, dangerous, but possible. "For a while," Rex says, "until I'm sure you're safe. And then I don't know. Guess I'll figure it out." Edith takes his hand, squeezes it. "Thank you for everything, for saving us, for believing we were worth saving." "Everyone's worth saving," Rex says, even when they don't believe it themselves. They sit in silence. The only sound is the clock on the wall, ticking, marking time, measuring the distance between who they were and who they're becoming. Outside, snow continues to fall, covering everything, erasing tracks, making the world clean again, new again, a second chance. That's what they all have now. Second chance to be better, do better, live better. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. The vet comes out again. You can see him now. He's awake. They follow her back. Maximus is on a table, bandaged, groggy. But his tail wags when he sees Rex. Slow, tired, but real. Rex scratches behind the dog's ears. "Good boy. Such a good boy." Maximus leans into his hand, trusting, loyal, forgiving, the way family should be. They leave the clinic as the sun rises. A new day, a new beginning. The road ahead is long, uncertain, filled with challenges they can't yet see. But they'll face it together, because that's what family does. You've just witnessed a story of courage, redemption, and the lengths one man will go to protect those who can't protect themselves. But this is just the beginning of Rex's journey, and yours too. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of stories that inspire, challenge, and remind us all what it means to be human. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Your voice matters, and your words inspire others who need to hear them. Share this story with someone who needs to be reminded that heroes exist, that second chances are real, and that standing up for what's right always matters. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in these stories. And thank you for being part of a community that refuses to give up on hope. See you in the next story.